Need anything from me? A little windy today.
Sorry. We had a couple of JV guys come up with us today and they had different numbers.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Drop the water bottle, man.
Hello, Cougar fans. Thanks for joining us tonight. We have 1:30 on the warm-up clock, but looks like the Cougars are going to take the field a little bit early, so we'll go ahead and set the official clock to 40 minutes. College Heights Christian versus Pittsburg, Kansas High School tonight. Pittsburg is 5-4 on the season. The Cougars are 5-8. Cougars will be going left to right to start. The Purple Dragons will be wearing white, going right to left. We do have a little bit of wind tonight. I'm going to try to record this video tonight as I'm streaming so that after the game I can upload a higher video quality version to YouTube. So if you're tuning in tonight and then would like to watch it later, maybe we can have a little crisper video. See how that works. Haley and Nelson up top for the Cougars tonight. Across the middle, Youngberg, Schumacher, Perigin, and Clevenger. Clevenger playing that left wing position. I really like that for Clevenger. He loves to cut the ball in. I think that sets him up well to drive into the top of the box to take a shot. And Youngberg on the right wing just really seems like it suits his style of play well also, being able to send balls into the box. Across the back, we have Bowman on the right, Calandra on the center back right position, Dahl on the left center back, and on the left fullback is Beatty. All right, kickoff underway. Get the clock started. Dragons will play it out of the back. Nelson containing, ball played into the midfield and sent back to the back line. Pittsburgh holding, looking for options. Perigin comes in and deflects, gets the ball, leaves it for Nelson. Nelson tries to chip it through, deflect it away, and the Dragons send it out of bounds. Good early steal for the Cougars and threat into the final third. Perigin plays it down the line for Clevenger. Clevenger is able to get to it in play. I can't tell. I guess that we don't have the flags out tonight. And throw in for the Cougars. Clevenger gets the throw in cleared away by the Dragons. Ball back into play for Perigin on the end line. Perigin cuts it back into the middle, in the box, and again cleared away by the Dragons. Another throw in for the Cougars. So early on, you can see the style of play for the Dragons are just to play kind of a low block defend. Might suit the Cougars well to just really keep attacking. Ball played into the box. Schumacher goes up for the header. Tries for the tackle. It's cleared away by the Dragons. Clevenger pokes it back in. Ball down the line, out of bounds again, throwing for the Cougars. Perigin comes over for the throw-in. Schumacher on the diagonal run. Played across the middle to Nelson, stolen away in the midfield. Someone needs to get back to pressure ball. Ball played through as Beatty challenges back, sent in harmlessly on the end line, and that will be a goal kick for the Cougars. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess it was cleared away by the Cougars, so that will be a corner kick. Corner kick for the Dragons. Ball played back into the middle. Clevenger's there. Clevenger walks with it and plays it up ahead to Nelson. Sent high into the air. Perigin's there, heads it down. Chase for the ball. Back in the middle for Schumacher. Schumacher carries. Youngberg sends it into Schumacher into the box. Schumacher looking for possession, plays it across for Perigin. Perigin tracks back, gives it over to Youngberg. Youngberg switches it into the backside. Nelson's there and can't quite get a touch on it. Still in play. Clevenger playing it across, gets into the box, takes the shot, and the keeper's able to grab it. Good early threat for the Cougars. Using both those skills we were talking about, Youngberg sending it in from the right side, while Clevenger is able to cut in on the left. Youngberg goes for the tackle. Schumacher steps in. Pittsburgh gets through. Calandro's there. Was able to possess it and play it upfield into the middle as Youngberg will come on to pressure ball. Schumacher's on ball in the middle. That's number 7, Pena. Stolen away by Beatty in the middle. Perez on the ball on the far side and back into the middle for Pena again. Drop back to the defensive back. Clevenger is able to deflect and steal over to Nelson, to Clevenger on the far side. Clevenger chips it into Nelson on the run. Nelson heads it forward into the box. Perigin's there. Perigin with his right. It's still in play. Run to the ball.
Go to the ball. Come on,
Fight for the ball in the midfield. And Perigin draws a foul, free kick for the Cougars.
Stay wide, Braden. Stay wide.
Perigin sends it across to Perigin on the near side. Perigin cuts it into, or Youngberg cuts it into the box. Nelson's there. Good drop to Bowman. Bowman possesses and plays it into the middle for Nelson, stolen away. Ball played through. Good through ball by the Dragons, and Dial takes the foul.
It was shoulder, but then he did his arm. That's the call. If he left his arm down, he'd been fine.
Free kick for the Dragons. Ethan Yukina, the ball boy tonight. Number 7, Pena on the ball. Number 20, also Mendez over the ball. Number 7, Pena sets up a shot. Three Dragons behind the ball. 3 Cougars on the wall. Perigin, Dahl, and Calandro. Chipped in, and Stewart's there for the save. Stewart sends it out to the far side for Clevenger. Clevenger is able to nutmeg into the middle. Schumacher's there. Schumacher turns on the ball still. Controls it over to Perigin. Perigin drops it back to Bowman. Bowman with space drops it to Calandro. Into the middle for Schumacher. Schumacher settles. Plays it over to Youngberg, but off the mark and throwing for the Dragons.
Back up. Take the throw, Braden. Take the throw. When he goes
Throw in down the line for Calandro. Calandro gets around it and heads it up to Youngberg's able to settle in play. Youngberg sends it through for Haley. Haley on the run. Haley down the line. Tries to cut it back. Still fighting for the ball. Number 17, Miller steals and sends it in the middle. All the way up to the front line as Calandro steals. Calandro sends it forward. Stolen away by number 8. That's Martinez. Back to the middle as the Dragons are playing possession. Nelson steps in. Back to Pena, who switches it over to the far side. Clevenger comes up. Schumacher on the ball. Sent over to the far wing, and Beatty gets a touch but can't control it. Clevenger pressures back on the ball. That's number 15, Perez. Stolen away by Beatty. Beatty looking at an option, dribbling up ahead, deflected high in the air. Beatty still on the ball, plays it down the line. Beatty cuts it in and stolen away by the Dragons. Into the midfield as Perigin challenges. Bowman steps up, gets a touch for Perigin. Perigin bicycle kicks it up ahead. Haley's there. Haley looking for a touch. Heads it forward and still in play. And that'll be a goal kick for the Dragons. Anredder subbing in the game for Bowman on the right side. Goal kick for the Dragons. They play it out of the back, right into the middle as Nelson pressures. Lewis over to the far side for number 2, Ward, and plays it out of bounds. Beatty is ready for the throw-in. Took one off the face. Over to Perigin into the middle. Dow steps up, slide tackle, gets the ball. Beatty's there on the steal. Beatty sends it into the middle too high. Stolen away by number 20, that's Mendez. Schumacher pressuring the ball. Drop back to Ward on the back line into the middle. Turn for Martinez with some space. Plays it through to the far side. Dow's there. Dow cuts it. Back in the middle. Beatty, good cover, and is there to play it to the middle for Perigin. Perigin with some room in front if he can get there. Plays it over to Youngberg on the near side. Youngberg has room if he can send it through for Nelson. Good ball through for Nelson. He's out in front. Nelson holds up play, cuts it back. Looking for his left, takes the shot, but sends it over. And goal kick for the Dragons. Looking good, guys. Looking good. Put some topspin on that. Dragons take the goal kick, played out to the near side. Youngberg will come up to pressure. That's 17 Miller on the ball. Played it to the near side sideline and knocked out of bounds by Youngberg, throwing for the Dragons. Number 20, Mendez, comes over for the throw-in. Cougars congesting this near side as Calandro comes up and heads it back in. Youngberg, nice kick over the top of his head, plays it down the line off of the Dragons and throw in for the Cougars. Youngberg over to take the throw in. Into the middle of the field for Nelson, headed away by the Dragons with some space for Beatty in the middle. Beatty settles, drops for Dow. Dow back to Beatty. Beatty in the middle looking for his options, plays it wide to Perigin on the near side. Perigin chips it in to the backside for Clevenger. Clevenger gets to it, one touch ahead, and Haley on the run. Goalie comes up and grabs it. And much better action today for the Cougars. Really proud of the adjustments they've made. Nelson steps into the top of the box. Ward on the far side as Clevenger comes in to challenge. Nelson pokes it away to Schumacher. Schumacher looking for an option, still on the ball. Dragons steal, play it down the line. Dow's there. Dow settles, has an option, and plays it out of bounds, throw in for the Dragons. Back into the middle as Perigin's there off of the Dragons still in play. Perigin tries to get to the ball but goes out of bounds, throw in for the Dragons. Ball dropped back to Ward on the back line, sent into the middle. Schumacher there to defend. Sent in by the Dragons into the box. Stewart comes up, and he'll be able to grab it. And the Cougars will reset. Youngberg here to the near side on the wing. Perigin and Schumacher in the middle. Stewart punts to the far side for Clevenger, who has some space. Clevenger heads it into the middle. Schumacher was making the run, though. Miscommunication, played into a steal for the Dragons into the far side corner. Number 15, Perez over there to receive the ball. Beatty in front. Schumacher comes up on the challenge. That's number 8, Martinez, sends it across, and Stewart's able to get up there to grab the ball. Youngberg's calling forward on the near side. Top spin ball up to Youngberg. He's able to get a touch to Perigin, stolen away by 13, Rodas. Moved by Pena to the top of the box. Shot taken. Not enough on it. Goes out of play, and goal kick for the Cougars. Perigin takes the goal kick. Looking for Youngberg on the near side. Youngberg here to settle. Good settle by Youngberg. Plays it through, but off the mark and cleared away by the Dragons. Dahl there heads it high into the air. Calandro fights for position. Over to Beatty. Into the middle as Beatty steps up and wins it. Leaves it for Schumacher. Schumacher making the run on the far side. Clips it up for Clevenger. Or Nelson's there also. Ball cleared away by the Dragons. Back to Schumacher on the far side. Schumacher holds up play. Drops it to Clevenger. Clevenger turns the field. Looks across for Nelson at the top. Nelson chips it in for Schumacher on the backside. Schumacher's there. And can't control it. Goal kick for the Dragons. Goal kick taken to the far side. Backspin ball. Beatty's there to play it. Plays it forward to Clevenger. Cleared away by Ward into the middle of the field. Perigin settles it with his chest. Has a runner. Gets through the first line. Sends it in. Deflected away with the head by the Dragons. Schumacher comes to the ball. Tries to get through. Gets pushed down and draws the foul. And free kick for the Cougars. Call it 35 out. 38 out, let's say. Perigin asking for the quick restart. Youngberg on the near side here at the top of the box. Nelson at the far post at the top of the box. Perigin asking for space. 3-man wall for the Dragons. No score yet. 26 minutes left here in the first half. Perigin takes the shot on goal, goes over the top, and goal kick for the Dragons. Ball played into the middle. Perrigin's there to challenge. That's Pena on the ball. Schumacher gets position, tries to win it. Pena still back to it. Clevenger pokes it away. Perrigin flicks it in, and stolen away by the Dragons. Mendez over to Ward on the far side. Beatty steps in, gets a touch to Schumacher. Schumacher's able to turn. Schumacher cuts it back into the middle, has some room. Tried to pass it over to Nelson, but stolen away by the Dragons up ahead. Ball in the middle of the field sent through. Dahl's there. Good positioning by Dahl, and he's able to get to it easily. Carries it wide. That's number 15, Perez, on the challenge, and Dahl will leave it out of bounds for the Cougars to reset. Pena on the ball on the far side for the Dragons. Perrigin's able to deflect off of Perez over there on the sideline, and it'll be a throw-in for the Cougars. Perrigin comes up to take the throw in up to Clevenger on the sideline. Clevenger keeps it in, brings it back into the middle, chips it up for Schumacher, and poked away by Ward in the middle of the field. Calandro comes up to challenge. Calandro heads it back to Perrigin. Perrigin one-touches it through, and number 22, that's Schmidt. Ben Schmidt's able to clear it high into the air. Dahl's there on the far side, challenged by Pena. Pena still on the ball. Leaves it for Perez across the middle. Schumacher's there with some space. Schumacher carries and sends it through for Youngberg on the run. Youngberg's out in front. Youngberg gets there to the ball in the box. Cuts it back into the middle. Youngberg still on the ball, looking for an option. Leaves it for Clevenger. Clevenger tries to one-time it. And good action by the Cougars. Clevenger didn't get a clean strike, but still a good play. And goal kick for the Dragons. Sent into the middle of the field. Perrigin's there. Settle. What a settle by Perrigin in the air. Leaves it for Youngberg. Youngberg chips it into the backside for Clevenger. Clevenger comes on for the header and flares down in the box. Clevenger's able to get back to it. Drops it to Nelson. Cleared away, but Schumacher's there. Schumacher steps in and plays it on the far side. He gets into the box. Schumacher still carrying, gets the edge. Sends it back with his left, but nobody's there for the Cougars. Cleared away by the Dragons. Beatty steps in, but can't get a touch. Dahl comes over. Dahl staying in front as Pena sends it in, deflected away, and Calandro was able to clear. Nelson there on the challenge. Mendez is able to get it and play it back to his back line. Number 3, Lewis. Lewis over to Ward on the far side, back to the middle. Perrigin tries to step in. And number 8, Martinez is able to win the challenge. Martinez sends it through to Pena. Dahl comes in to challenge. Pena gets through. Pena sends it in. And across to the far side, goes all the way through. That's Rodas. Rodas on the far side, carries it back. Anreder gets the slide tackle, gets back on his feet. Miller getting challenged by Youngberg. Youngberg steals. Youngberg carries down the line on the near side. Youngberg still carrying. And number 20, Mendez, steps in and clears it away. Cougars are able to switch the field, get all the way down in the final third. Youngberg has a throw-in. Youngberg into Nelson. Over Nelson's head. Schumacher's there, sent high by Lewis. Anreder comes up to make the challenge as Calandro drops. Calandro is able to win the battle, sends it through. Haley steps up, gets a touch, over to Youngberg. Youngberg comes in on the challenge, is able to go to space. Leaves it for Perrigin, and free kick for the Cougars. Youngberg sends the ball into the top. Nelson's there. Headed away by Lewis. Oh, goes backwards, and Clevenger's there on the corner. Ward defending on the ball. Clevenger cuts it back, has some space, looking at his options. Sends it into Perrigin. Number 22, Schmidt, clears it away. Clevenger back to it in the box on the far side. Clevenger looking to get the edge. Clipped away by Ward. Ward sends it down the line on the far side out of play, throwing for the Cougars. 21:30 left to play here in the first half. No score. Ball back into play. And too hard throw in for the Dragons. Lewis receives the ball in the box. Ward on the far side. Perrigin comes in and challenges. And that'll be a throw in for the Dragons. Number 20, Mendez on the throw in. Drops it back to Ward. Ward to Lewis in the middle of the field. Play back to the far side. Clevenger steals. Clevenger drops for Perigin. Perigin nutmegs and sends it in the middle, takes the shot, and goes well over the goal. Goal kick for the Dragons. Goal kick sent all the way to the back line. Dowell's there, chips it in. Lewis steps up, gets a touch. That's Pena on the ball. Pena sends it down the line. Dowell is tracking back, so is Calandro. Perez fighting for possession. Dowell drops to Calandro. Calandro makes a touch and is able to defend, and Perigin clears it away. Nelson's there. Nelson tries to head it forward, misses the touch, and back into possession for Schmidt. Over to Ward. Ward plays it through to Pena. Pena wide to Martinez. I'm sorry, to Perez. Perez on the ball, sends it in with his left, and that's going to go out of play. Goal kick for the Cougars. So I really like what the Cougars have made for adjustments since last game. Dowell almost got caught sending that back to Calandro, but I'd rather have that mistake than the mistake of just sending it out easy. Haley in the middle gets a touch, leaves it for Nelson. Nelson chips it over to Clevenger. Clevenger is able to get over to the ball on the far side. Clevenger cuts it back into the middle, gets to the ball, plays it to Nelson at the top of the box. Nelson looking for a shot, takes it with his left, and sends it far of the goal. Nelson left-footed, had that ball where he wants it, and you feel pretty good about getting those shots 12 yards out for Liam. Goal kick taken into the middle, goes through the first line. That's number 21, Aguilar. Aguilar is able to make the turn. Schumacher chases back, played into the middle. Schumacher gets the steal, gets the cut. Lost in the middle of the field. Martinez back to the ball, played through. Calandro there defending up front. Sent over to number 13, Rodas. Anredder defending in the box. He's looking to get to the edge. Anredder staying in front. Played in. Calandro gets a deflection and corner kick for the Dragons. Corner kick sent in, spinning in, and goes all the way over. Goes out of bounds. And just a beautiful ball. But nobody was able to connect on it. That'll be a goal kick for the Cougars. Perigin's back to take the goal kick. Perigin plays it to the near side for Youngberg. Youngberg tries to settle it down, loses it in the middle. Perigin steps in, gets a touch, is able to get possession. Tries to nutmeg, stolen away by Martinez. Martinez wide to Rodas, sent across with his left. Beatty gets in there to challenge as Perez comes over and lets it go out of bounds. That will be a corner kick again for the Dragons. Left-footed corner sent in. Dowell's there and sends it out of bounds.
Ball should not hit the ground, Black. Rush, go get that one.
Martinez again. Taking the corner. Taking it with his right. Spinning away from the goal. Perigin comes in, gets a touch. Beatty clears. Mendez on the ball. Plays it over to the far side for Perez. Up the line for Clevenger. Clevenger challenges. Clevenger and Martinez. Martinez shielding. Clevenger pokes it away and throw in for the Dragons. Throwing to Martinez. Clevenger pokes it away. Ward on the ball on the far side. Nelson deflects. Nelson immediately into a threat, and he actually causes the foul. So free kick for the Dragons as Haley's in the middle. Send it back to him to restart play.
The ball's over there, guys.
Mendez, number 20, taking the free kick for the Dragons. Ball sent high into the air, back spinning ball. Dowell's able to head it away. Perigin tries to get the one touch. Loose as Clevenger and Martinez challenge for the ball. Ward makes a good touch, sends it into the middle. Schumacher's going to be first there, makes a touch, has some room in the middle, plays it across for Haley, and a little too deep as the keeper's able to come up to it. Rolled out of the back for the Dragons, played to the near side. That's number 13, Rodas on the ball. Youngberg comes over to pressure, dropped back for number 17, Miller. Played through, Calandro is there, puts it high into the air, fight for the ball with Schumacher and number 7, Pena. Schumacher loses the ball in the middle to Pena. Pena sends it through. Stewart comes up, the ball's at the top of the box, and offside is the call. Free kick for the Cougars. Stewart's injured on the play.
Way to go, Rush!
Boney putting on his goalie jersey on the sideline. Looks like Stewart's just contemplating whether he can stay in.
Knock it off! Knock it off! Loosen it up!
Okay, free kick for the Cougars. Dowell's going to take the free kick. Plays it in the middle field, back spinning ball. Perigin's there to challenge. Perigin gets a touch on it, sends it high into the air into the middle. Haley's there. Schmidt is able to get possession. Haley's to the ball and cleared away by Miller to the near side. And it goes out of bounds. Youngberg for the throw-in. Anredder also came down. Youngberg throws it into Perigin. Perigin tries to make the turn. Miller steals it away. Ball played across the middle, and Dowell's there. Dowell sends it across to Clevenger, stolen away in the middle. Schumacher gets back to it, chips it up for Nelson. Nelson tries to head it over to Clevenger. Clevenger chased for the ball with Ward. Clevenger gets to it, plays it down the line. Clevenger gets the edge, back to the ball, cuts it back into the middle. Clevenger still on the ball, plays the drop to Beatty. Beatty settles and plays it back to Dowell.
Out here!
Dowell sends it back over.
Keep swinging it! Go back the same direction. Switch the field, Gavin.
And that's out of play, throwing for the Dragons. Sub coming in the game for the Dragons, number 5, Garcia. Subbed in for Miller. Ball on the far side. Beatty gets a touch. Sends it high into the air, and that's going to go out of bounds, throwing for the Dragons. Martinez comes down for the throw-in, number 8. Plays it down the line. Into the middle for Pena. Pena sends it through. Calandra looking for the ball. Is able to get to it and clear it away. And Youngberg will chase back. That's number 13, Rodas on the ball. Anredder in front. Played in, Perigin steals. Perigin holding up time. Loses his feet and draws the foul. Free kick for the Cougars.
Go, Cougars!
Youngberg there to take the free kick. Back spinning ball into the middle. Nelson's there. Nelson can't see it in the sun. Schmidt gets up and gets the header. Perigin gets there and gets a touch, turns it and tries to poke through, stolen away by Lewis into the middle of the field. Schumacher comes back to challenge. Martinez sends it up to the top. Dowell's there to challenge. Dowell loses his feet and draws the foul. And free kick for the Cougars.
Here you go, out here.
Youngberg switched to the fullback position as Anreder comes up to the wing. Calandro, good driving ball into Haley. Schmidt there first. Haley cleared away by Ward into the middle. Schumacher's there. Schumacher gets a touch on it. Schumacher fighting for possession. Goes to space. Plays it up to Clevenger. Ward steps in and steals and clears it out of bounds. That's a throw-in for the Cougars. Boney at the line to sub, I think. Okay, Boney's going to sub in for Haley at the top. Beatty takes the throw in down the line for Clevenger. Clevenger settles with his chest to Schumacher on the far side. And Clevenger's called for the foul as he's trying to fight for position. Free kick for the Dragons. 9:40 to play here in the first half. No score. Good competitive matchup so far. Perigin wins the ball off the free kick into Schumacher. Schumacher chips it up ahead for Boney. Wynn holds it up in the air. Schmidt gets the header. Martinez through to Pena. Pena carrying with some room. Perigin challenging from behind. Youngberg's there. Sends it with his outside of his foot to Beatty. Schumacher comes over. Plays it up to Clevenger. Clevenger has time. Carries down the far side. Clevenger cutting it back to the middle. Looking at his options. Leaves it for Perigin. Perigin at the top of the box. Sets up the shot. On the ground. Boney's there. Deflects. And cleared away by the Dragons onto this near side for Rodas. Youngberg's there and wins it off his knee. Rodas back to the ball, plays it to the middle. Left in the middle. Perigin's there. Perigin plays one touch wide to Clevenger. Clevenger tries to play it through, and Lewis clears away, throwing for the Cougars. Beatty for the throw-in. Leaves it short for Perigin. Perigin trying to turn. Perez fights for the ball and is able to win it. Schumacher comes back to challenge. Dowell looking to shield the ball into a turn and loses it, but Beatty's there. Beatty clears it into the middle. Played through as Perigin gets a touch. Over to Anreder. Anreder tries to play it through to Perigin. Not enough on it. Stolen away by Mendez. Youngberg steps up. Youngberg carries it on the ball. Tries to chip it over. Still on the ball. Ball on the far side. Number 21, Aguilar on it. And Youngberg gets the slide tackle to send it out of bounds. And that's a throw-in for the Dragons. Ball into the play for Pena. Perigin in front, deflects. Into the middle as Schumacher comes back to pressure Aguilar. Perigin gets the header. Perigin steals on the near side, carries down the line. Perigin out in front, holds up play as he's waiting for a middle support. Sends it through to Nelson. Nelson gets the touch and turn, but he's offside. And free kick for the Dragons. Free kick into the middle. Schumacher's there, heads it forward. Up to Clevenger. Clevenger settles with his chest. Ward challenges, but Clevenger stays on it. Sends it in with his left. And the goalie's there to pick it up. Played over to Garcia. Anreder comes in to challenge. Garcia is able to turn. Ball over to Rodas on the sideline. Youngberg comes in to challenge. Played into the middle as Calandro tries to get to it. Dowell steps up. Dowell plays the ball. Beatty goes back to cover. Beatty with his left to the far side. Carries it down the line. Beatty plays it up to Clevenger. Clevenger has room to turn. Clevenger down the far side. Looking to cut it back. Tries to cut it through. And Ward clears. Pena chips it up ahead. Dowell fights back for the ball. Dowell looking to get position. Makes the slide tackle. Still on the ball. Fight for possession, and Stewart makes the save. Best threat of the day for the Dragons, and great save by Stewart. Stewart's really limping now. And he's probably going to have to take a sub. Stewart rolls it out of the back for Youngberg. Youngberg has time. Plays it into the middle. Pena shields and plays it through. Stewart steps up. And foul called on the Cougars. And Stewart's down hurt. He's gonna need a sub. Clock running. They're gonna stop the clock. Boney's gonna go over and put on his gloves and goalie shirt. Stewart's gonna walk off under his own power. Boney subbing into the game. That's be a free kick to start play for Boney. 5:16 on the clock. We'll restart the clock with the ref's whistle on the free kick. Just outside the circle, maybe 25 yards out. Number 20, Mendez on the ball. Hamlin will sub in the game for the Cougars to fill that last spot. Hamlin up top. Four-man wall for the Cougars. Dahl, Calandro, Nelson, and Peregrine on the wall. Schumacher and Anredder both marking players on the near side. Clevenger and Beatty both marking players on the far side. Boney trying to set up his wall. Still waiting for the clock. Ref signals restart of play. Free kick taken and sent wide of the frame, and goal kick for the Cougars.
5 minutes left.
Let's go, guys. You got this. You're playing great. Nelson moved to the back line as Youngberg subs up top. Nelson will take the goal kick for the Cougars. Schumacher and Peregrine have also switched sides. Nelson plays it over to Peregrine. Peregrine heads it forward up to Youngberg. Peregrine gets a touch. Lewis for the Dragons clears it away and throw in for the Cougars. This is where things can happen. 4 minutes left. Everyone's tired. Who can gut out a goal here before the halftime whistle? Ball into the middle of the field. Peregrine fights for possession with Pena. Switched across. Dahl steps up for the header. Calandro's there. Dahl is able to get back to it and win it. Anredder plays it across to Schumacher. Schumacher controls and carries to the middle. And Schumacher draws the foul. Free kick for the Cougars. Lewis takes the quick restart, plays it up to Clevenger on the run. Ward on the side, leaves it for Youngberg. Youngberg with a strike! And wide of the goal. Good shot, Braden! And goal kick for the Dragons. Ball played low over to Anredder. Anredder tries a one-touch in. Perrigin's there as he challenges with Pena. Drop for Mendez. Mendez in the middle as Anredder's there. Anredder has time. Leaves it across for Schumacher. Schumacher tries to cut it back. Still on the ball. Plays it through. Too heavy. And the keeper's there to grab it. Schumacher wins it in the middle on the goal kick. Martinez heads it away. Played through as Calandra chases back. Pena on the challenge. Is able to get back to the ball, takes the shot, and Boney's there, makes the easy save. Rolls it out to Anredder on the near side. Anredder comes back for the ball. Carries, cuts it back. Perrigin comes back to win it. Dahl tries to switch the field. Play on. Calandra steps up. Number 21, Aguilar on the ball, and Calandra's able to clear it away. Corner kick for the Dragons.
Come on, Cougars. 2 minutes.
2:30 left here in the first half. No score. That's number 8, Martinez. Plays it short to Garcia. Anredder comes up, makes the slide tackle. Nelson clears it away into the middle. Schmidt makes a one-touch for Mendez. Mendez sends it in. I think he's off. And yes, he is. Free kick for the Cougars. 2 minutes left to play here in the first. Calandro sets up for the free kick. Both teams trying to catch their breath. Calandro driving ball into the middle of the field. Perrigin's there. Mendez gets the first touch. Played up ahead by Martinez. Perrigin shielding for the ball. Hamlin's there. Cleared away by Garcia all the way ahead. A chase for the ball as Nelson hustles back. Along with Perez, Nelson wins the challenge. Nelson carries down the far side. Plays it down the far side for Clevenger to run under. Still good ball, stays in. Clevenger makes a touch back to the middle, and Ward clears it away. That'll be a throw in for the Cougars. 1 minute left, but the Cougars are dragging. They're gonna hold up time a little bit. Clevenger sends it into Perrigin. Perrigin tries to cut it back. Still in play, and ruled out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick for the Dragons. Schmidt takes the goal kick, back spinning ball in the middle. Pena on the ball. Schumacher comes up to pressure, tries to poke it away. Pena stays on the ball. Clevenger comes back to help. Ball played down the side and deflected away. Beatty to the ball. Perrigin tries to poke through, stolen away by Martinez. Schumacher tracks back with Martinez, trying to get position. Loses his feet, still on the ball for Pena. Pena sends it through. Dahl's back. Dahl tries to cut it away. Calandra's there to clear. Anredder on the near side. Plays it down the line for Hamlin to run under. 12 seconds left in the half, and cleared away by Garcia. That's probably going to do it for the first half. Perrigin comes down to get the ball. 5 seconds left to play.
Go.
And Perrigin will just hold up play. That will be the first half. Great first half of play for the Cougars and the Dragons. No score after 40 minutes. Put 10 minutes on the clock for halftime. Really happy with the adjustments the Cougars have made since yesterday. They played to a 9-1 victory yesterday against Parsons, but really didn't play very clean on the back line and left a lot to be desired on their ball movement. I feel like just the first 40 minutes today really, and in fact the first 10 minutes they came out really addressing those issues and really looked good. So we'll see how the second half plays out. The Cougars played into the win the first half, so they'll have the win at their back in the second half. All right, we'll take an audio break and be back in about 9 minutes for the start of the second half. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. 40 minutes on the clock to start the second half. Both teams taking the field. Good first half. No score in the first. Both teams had a few chances. Cougars did a good job of playing to their game plan. Maybe a little bit too much in the middle of the field, trying to play through a defender where they were losing the ball. Played really good down the lines and connecting back to the middle. The Cougars will have the ball to start the second half. Anredder up top for the Cougars. Bowman in on the far right wing. Let's see if they've switched. Looks like they're going to actually drop to a 4-1-4-1 with the change in the lineup. So Beatty, Nelson, Calandro, and Dahl across the back. Maybe just a traditional 4-3-3. Youngberg playing in the middle. Schumacher and Perigin in those attacking mid spots, and Anredder at the striker. All right, played into the middle for the Cougars. Youngberg on the ball, plays it back to Perigin with some space to turn. Perigin over to Clevenger on the near side. Clevenger, good settle, carries it, plays it to the corner for Perigin. Perigin looking to get the edge, cuts it back, chips it across the box. Schumacher's there, tries to head it back in, and Anredder's there. Bowman comes in on the side and strikes it off the frame. And goal kick for the Dragons. Good chance for the Cougars early on in the second half. Goal kick for the Purple Dragons. Backspin ball into the middle, goes over Schumacher. He chases back as Dahl steps up. Schumacher gets back to the ball. Pena is able to get to it. Bowman on the far side. Bowman steals, carries it to the middle, plays it through to Anredder. Anredder settles, looks at his options and gives it to Clevenger. Clevenger with a good strike and saved by the keeper. Corner kick for the Cougars. Really nice strike by Clevenger from the top of the box, and full extension save by the goalkeeper. And I don't have the goalkeeper's name, but we'll just call him Purple Dragon. Youngberg on the corner for the corner kick, sends it high ball in, got underneath it. Clevenger heads it back to Beatty. Beatty one touches it in and saved by the keeper. Cougars hustle back. Top spin ball into the middle. Nelson playing the hop, heads it back in the middle. Schumacher's there. Pena's able to chip it away back to Perigin. Perigin tries to send it through. Pena's there. Pena plays a through ball, deflected away, and Beatty's to the ball. Beatty to Schumacher. Schumacher settles and turns. Plays it down the backside for Bowman, and that will go out of bounds. Goal kick for the Dragons. Ball played into the middle for Pena. Pena turns with his left and plays it wide. Calandro comes over, sends it back high in the air to the far side, and that'll go out of bounds, thrown for the Dragons. Played back in the middle for Pena. Pena drops it back. Side spinning ball into the middle. That's number 6, Perez. Calandro's able to step up and deflect it away. Martinez back to the ball to Pena. Deflected away, and Pena's back to it. Clevenger comes in to challenge as Ward gets a one touch. Lewis comes up. Perigin deflects. Sent across the field. Dahl steps up, pops it high into the air. Schumacher settles in the middle, gives it for Perigin. Perigin back to Schumacher. Schumacher turns, plays it to Dahl, off the mark, but Dahl's there. Dahl plays it wide to Schumacher off the mark, and Martinez steals. And foul called on Dahl. And Martinez is down. Be a free kick for the Purple Dragons. Hey, Barrett. Barrett, don't shake that. It shakes me. Mendez sends the free kick in for the Dragons. Calandra and Nelson get up in the air, but goes over him, and Perigin clears it. Dowell's there to head it to the far side as Bowman comes back. That's number 11, Martin, on the ball. Sent in, Nelson clears away. Perez tracks back. Schumacher steps in. Over to Pena. Pena with his left, and good chip, but goes over the goal. Boney made it look like that was going in as he fell backwards, but it was over the goal harmlessly. Youngberg back for the free kick. Clevenger here on the near side with nobody guarding. Played in the middle, back spinning ball. Nelson heads it forward for Perigin. Sent back into play as Beatty's there to settle. Clevenger gets the ball, cuts it to the middle, plays it down the line for Anredder. Gets through as Anredder's there for the ball. Anredder holds up play, sends it across the middle for Perigin. Perigin with his head. Martin gets a touch, and the Dragons are able to clear it, played it in the middle. Touch back to Martin. Beatty steps in and deflects. Beatty challenging on the ball. Beatty gets to it, sends it wide to Clevenger. Clevenger still in. Knocked off by Pena. Clevenger challenges ball. Schumacher comes in, is able to get position on Martin. Drops it to Youngberg. Youngberg sends it through. Mendez plays it into the middle for Martin. Calandra was able to step up and win the challenge. Calandra plays it down the line for Bowman. Bowman trying to run under it, gets to it. Schmidt steps in and makes the tackle. Perigin back to the ball in the middle of the field. Perigin chips it in on the backside for Clevenger. Clevenger trying to make the run, bounces off Ward. Lewis has to clear it away, and corner kick for the Cougars. Youngberg's going to come over for the free kick. Titus Clevenger hustling down the line to get him a ball. Bowman and Perigin on the far side of the top of the box. Clevenger in the middle. Anredder on the near post. Ball sent into the backside. Perigin's there. Gets up for the header, but goes over the... Can't quite get up to it and goes out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick for the Dragons.
Watch the short, Derek. Yeah. Derek, turn around. Watch the short.
Subs coming in for the Purple Dragons.
Now turn around in front of it.
Schumacher comes over to play the ball on the far side. Rodas on the ball. Schumacher steals into the middle. Back to the Dragons. Dragons send it up ahead. Calandra heads it back in the middle of the field for Schumacher. Schumacher settles, turns, looks at his options, gives it to Perigin in the middle. Perigin to the ball, and the Dragons cleared away across the field. Clevenger will challenge to the end line and sent out of bounds by Ward, and that will be a corner kick. Actually, throw in for the Cougars. Clevenger with the ball for the throw and puts it into the box. Perigin's there. Good touch by Lewis and clears it out of the box. Youngberg steps in, gets a touch, sent across the frame. Martin gets a header into positive territory for the Dragons. Pena on the ball. Nelson steps up. Pena is able to make a touch through. He's offside.
Oh, what in the world, dude?
And no call. Dowell's on the far side and is able to clear it away. Plays it down the line. And out of bounds. Throw in for the Cougars. Played up head by Perigin. Back to Schumacher. Schumacher knees it.
One more.
And Youngberg can't get to it before Lewis clears it up ahead. Boney is able to get back to it in the box.
Good job, Justin.
9 minutes into the second half, no score. Boney punts it away, side spinning ball up to the middle. Bowman's there. Touched by the Dragons first. Played back into the middle to Mendez. Youngberg comes over to pressure ball. Mendez sends it in with his left. Schumacher goes down as Martin plays it down the line. Dowell's able to position and steal and goes out of bounds. Throw in for the Cougars. Dowell gets called for the illegal throw in. Got to go over your head. Throw in for the Dragons. Mendez over for the throw in for the Purple Dragons. Sent into the box. Calandro gets up and heads it. Goes out the end line. That's going to be a corner kick for the Dragons. Pena over to take the corner.
Go defense.
Pena taking it from the high side of the flag. Side spinning ball in. Nelson heads it away. Good header by Nelson. Nelson back in the middle. Schumacher's able to win it. Martin steals. Back in to the middle of the box. Nelson challenges and wins. Martin plays it to the far side for Pena. Dowell defending in front. Rodas to the ball. Dowell steals. Dowell sends it down the line and out of bounds, throwing for the Dragons. Switch of play position by the Cougars as the Dragons played in on the far side. Dowell heads it up in the air. Pena gets through and takes the shot, but goes way over the goal. Goal kick for the Cougars. Nelson there for the goal kick. Driving ball in the middle. Perrigin's able to get a touch. Plays it back, trying to get possession. Cleared away by the Dragons up ahead. Calandro gets in there, gets a touch. Sent back and gets it up to Perrigin. Perrigin has time, plays it to Youngberg. Youngberg looking at his options. Plays it back to Perrigin in the middle. Perrigin on the ball looking to set up a strike. Takes the shot, but goes off the frame. And goal kick for the Purple Dragons.
They got it.
Bowman switched to up top for the Cougars. Ball played to the far side. Schumacher's there. Martin heads it way up in the air. Calandro steps up and thank you. Free kick for the Cougars on the dangerous play. Indirect kick. Perrigin takes the quick restart over to Clevenger at the top. Lewis is able to step in and deflect. Up to Perez. Perez cuts it back as Perrigin defends. Perrigin tracks back. Gets a deflection. Beatty on the ball. Beatty leaves it for Youngberg. Youngberg has time. Plays it into Bowman. On the backside is Anredder making the run. Gets the end line. Tries to keep it in. And goal kick for the Purple Dragons. Looked like Anredder may have got a touch against the defender, but it was out of play, and goal kick for Purple Dragons. Headed by Perrigin in the middle of the field. Pena to the ball, sends it through, high into the air. Nelson chases back. Nelson's able to get there first, heads it down, and plays it back into the middle. Gets it through to Youngberg. Youngberg tries to make the turn. Pena comes back and steals. Drop to number 20, Mendez. Mendez back in the middle for Martin. Martin switches and plays it into the box, and Boney's there to grab it. Boney sets up the punt. Good punt up into the middle of the field. Lewis heads it down. Beatty's there. Beatty plays it back to Youngberg in the middle. Tries to one-touch it over to Clevenger. Ward steps up. Ball played ahead. Offside. Offside on Perez on the run. And that'll be a free kick for the Cougars. Flandra takes the kick, side spinning ball in the middle. Perrigan's there. Perrigan receives it with his chest, tries to play it over to Clevenger. Bowman's there too. Dragons clear away as Schumacher comes back and wins it for Youngberg. Youngberg one touch, but gets underneath it. And that was good from 35, but wrong sport. Goal kick for the Purple Dragons. 25 minutes left here in the second half. No score yet here at Ozark Christian College, home of the Cougars this year. Purple Dragons take the goal kick, side spinning ball in the middle. Perrigan tries to get a touch but misses. Pena's there on the ball. Poked through as Dowell's there to challenge, but Purple Dragons will get the first touch, and Nelson sends it to the far side. Dowell keeps it in. No, he can't keep it in. Out of bounds thrown for the Purple Dragons. Martin comes over to take the throw in. Dowell slides in for the tackle. Martin still on the ball. Perrigan there. Martin, good feet, is able to drop it back. Switch across the field for Pena. Pena carries back, switches over to Mendez. Mendez on the ball. Takes the shot on goal, and Boney's there to grab it. Boney punts it away. Good punt again, all the way up to Lewis on the back line. Clevenger and Perrigan come together on the ball. Clevenger leaves it for Youngberg. Youngberg sends it to the far side for Anredder. Touch to the far side by Garcia will go out of bounds, thrown for the Cougars. Thrown into Schumacher. Schumacher plays it back into the middle, getting shielding for space, tries to play it across, deflect away, back to Youngberg. Nope, stole away. Nelson comes in and heads it down up to Perrigan. Perrigan to the ball, sets up the shot, plays it right to, didn't get quite enough on that, went right to the keeper, and keeper will set up a punt. Side spinning ball in the middle. Calandro steps up, gets a touch. Martin there. Schumacher steals, gives it to Perrigan. Perrigan over to Youngberg. Youngberg carrying around, gives it back to Schumacher. Schumacher looking at his options, plays it across the far side, stolen away by number 5, Garcia. Schumacher back to the ball, gives it to Perrigan. Perrigan takes the shot and over the goal.
Hey, switch field.
And goal kick for Purple Dragons. Grass is a little bit longer today than it was Tuesday, you might say. It seems like we're getting under a lot more balls. Bowman will sub out as Hamlin checks into the game. Hamlin playing up top in that striker position. Ball into the middle. Perrigan's there, heads it forward to Clevenger. Clevenger has time, settles it, looks at his options, cuts it back into the middle. Clevenger drops it for Perrigan. Perrigan has one coming from behind. Still on the ball, takes the shot, and bounces to the keeper for another save. Thrown out to the far side. Rodas on the ball. Back to Martin. Martin plays it through. Calandro's there, gives it to Perrigan. Perrigan leaves it for Schumacher. Schumacher settles the ball, plays it back to Perrigan with space. Perrigan coming up ahead, chips it over to Clevenger on the far side. Clevenger will hustle over to it as Ward challenges for the Dragons. Clevenger shields and holds space. Playing it back to Beatty.
Now back to the flag, back to the flag. One touchdown.
Beatty back to Clevenger. Clevenger tries to cut it through. Gets shielded, gets back to the ball. Clevenger at the top of the box, cuts it back, takes the shot, far post, and just over. Goal kick for the Purple Dragons. Another good run by the Cougars.
Keep it up. Good ball. Good ball. Hey, watch the short. Watch the short.
Dragons play it out of the back to Ward. Ward plays it to the near side. That's Martinez, plays it through. On the near side here. As Aguilar carries it down the line, Beatty challenging. Beatty's able to get to it and clears out of bounds, throwing for the Dragons. Ball in play to Pena. Played wide to Martinez and cleared away again by the Cougars. Throw in for the Purple Dragons. Throw into Pena. Perrigan's there and steals. Perrigan carrying into the middle. Perrigan on the ball. Perrigan sends it through on the far side. Anredder's there to make the run. If it will stay in, Anredder tries to get there in time but can't, and goal kick for the Dragons. Back spinning ball up. Schumacher comes in and gets it with his shoulder. Back to Martin. Into the middle for Pena. Youngberg challenges back. Beatty's able to clear it away as Clevenger comes up. Clevenger has time. Clevenger looking at his options, looking to play it to the overlap by Beatty. Beatty runs down the line. Still in play on the corner. Beatty tries to clip it back. Leaves it for Clevenger. Clevenger has room in front. Chips it across the box. Schumacher comes back as Martin challenges. Lets it go over and turns. Schumacher on the ball. Takes the strike and goes over the goal. Goal kick for the Purple Dragons. Low ball into the middle. Calandra is there. Plays it to Youngberg. Youngberg back to Nelson. Nelson has time. Nelson switches the field over to Calandra. Calandra back to Nelson. Nelson has time. Plays it up to Perrigan in the middle. Perrigan tries to clip it through to Clevenger. Ward's there. Chips it back into the middle. Pena flips it over to Martinez. Martinez carries. Chipped into the box. And Nelson's able to get a touch as Boney came out. Calandra challenging. Sent into the box again. Perrigan's there to steal. Perrigan clears it down the near side. Out of bounds. Throw in for the Dragons. Ward comes over for the Purple Dragons to take the throw in. Leaves it for Mendez. Mendez sends it in. High spinning ball into the middle. Nelson heads it back. Youngberg's there, goes over his head. Clevenger is there to position, and Mendez shields for the ball. Drop back as miscommunication by the Dragons. Clevenger challenges. Ball played to Lewis, up to Mendez. Mendez loses it to Perrigan. Perrigan holds, plays it into the middle. Stolen away by the Dragons, but back to Perrigan. Perrigan sends it over to the far side. Garcia heads it. Ball high into the middle. Mendez and Perrigan fighting for possession. Youngberg, Schumacher on the ball. Schumacher on it. Goes to take the strike, gets it cleared away from behind. And the Dragons clear, still in play. Beatty gets to it before it goes out. Beatty plays it back to Perrigan. Perrigan has room in front. Sets up, takes the shot. And looked like he was playing for a runner there, but didn't get there in time. So restart out of the back from the far side. Played into the middle for Martin. Dow defending. And Perrigan sends it into the middle. Hamlin trying to fight for possession. Martinez back to the ball. Pena on the ball. Perrigan defending. Pena over to Martin. Youngberg steps in. Youngberg and Pena fighting for possession. Pena still on the ball. Drops it back to Mendez. Mendez leaves it for Pena, stolen away by Youngberg. Can't control it though, and Martinez is back to the ball. Beatty steps in and deflects. Perrigan back to the ball. Perrigan fighting for position. Cleared away by Martin. All the way up ahead as Calandra has time. Calandra checking his shoulders and plays it to the far side. Anredder's there. Anredder tries to head it forward, goes out of bounds, throw in for the Dragons. 16 minutes left to play here in the second half. No score yet here at Ozark Christian College. Ball played across. Clevenger will come up to challenge. Ward on the ball, plays it on the ground. Perrigan comes in and steals. Perrigan setting up a shot at the top of the box, takes the strike, and the keeper's there to make the save.
Good up, Cougars. Keep up. Good job, Cougars.
Punted away, side spinning ball. Schumacher fights for it with Martin. Left in the middle as Calandro steps in. Nelson steps in and sends it through. Offside. Close call, but he was off, and free kick for the Cougars.
That's close, boys. Be good. Here we go. Come on. Hey, hang right there. Hang right there, Michael. Hang right there. There's the space.
Nelson will take the free kick for the Cougars.
Go to it. There you go.
Nelson over to Clevenger. Good touch by Clevenger to Perigin. Perigin gets back to it. Plays it across to the middle for Schumacher. Schumacher one touch back into the middle. Schumacher gets through. Still carrying. Takes it with his left and sends it over. And goal kick for the Purple Dragons.
Keep it up, Cougars. Keep it up. Hey, good touch, Hudson. Good flick. Good luck,
Goal
guys.
kick for the
Good luck.
Purple Dragons. 14:30 left to play. Andrew steps up, gets it in the box. Drops it back to Schumacher as he comes in. Garcia's over there for the Purple Dragons, able to get to the ball. Schumacher comes in and steals it. Youngberg in the middle of the field stills. Youngberg taking space. Youngberg gets a deflection. Clevenger's there. Clevenger back to Youngberg. Clip through as Beatty steps in. Beatty stays on it. Stolen away in the middle. Perigin helps back. Over to the near side as Beatty controls. Good patience by Beatty as he sees the field. Plays it to Perigin. Perigin has room. Cuts it for Clevenger on the run. Ward's in position, but Clevenger gets back to it. Clevenger making the turn. Looking to make a move. And Ward tries to send it away. Youngberg's there. Youngberg and Martin. Youngberg shielding. Martin's on top of him. Free kick for the Cougars. Youngberg sets up the free kick. Youngberg takes the strike and goes over the goal. This long grass is affecting the Cougars being able to get on top of the ball. And the Purple Dragons get another goal kick.
Come on, Cougars.
Back spinning ball into the middle. Perigin steals. Perigin tries to chip it ahead. Deflected away by number 18. That's Merida. Perigin up ahead to Schumacher. Schumacher can't get to it. Cleared away, but Perigin back to the ball. Perigin's still on it. Makes a move. Gets to the box and takes the strike. Deflected away by the Dragons. That'll be a corner kick for the Cougars.
All right, let's go, Cougars.
Youngberg to take the corner kick. Clevenger and Perigin on the backside. Played short to Anredder. Anredder tries to clip it in. It's still in the box and cleared away by the Dragons. Corner kick again for the Cougars. 12 minutes left to play here in the second. Still no score. Youngberg taking the corner kick again for the Cougars. Schumacher up top. Anredder at the top of the box. Hamlin in the middle about the 12-yard mark. Perigin and Clevenger stay on the backside. Ball sent in. Perigin and Clevenger trying to get to it. Headed high in the air. Anredder tries to get into it and cleared away by the Dragons. Played down the far side. Rodas on the run. Perigin chases back as Dahl steps in, and Perigin is able to get to it. Perigin turns and plays it down the line. Free kick for the Purple Dragons.
Got a man? Who's got the man right in the middle of the field? Yeah, 18. Come on, guys. That's your guy, Braden. You got to get back.
Mendez will take the free kick for the Purple Dragons. 11 minutes left to play. Ball played into the top. Nelson is there, heads it down. Perigin with some space in front on the far side. Perigin looking at his options, sends it through. Hamlin on the run. Both Ward and Lewis chase back for the Dragons. Ward clears it to the near side. Beatty settles with his chest. Beatty carries into the middle, leaves it for Clevenger. Clevenger cuts it back and plays it across to Perigin. Perigin, nice settle, stays on the ball, setting up a move. Still on the ball, cutting through, gets it to the top of the box, still on the ball, cuts through, and just a little too heavy on the last touch. Keeper's able to come up and grab it. Good move by Perigin getting into the box. Thrown away into the middle. Schumacher defending as the Dragons get through. That's Pena on the ball as Calandro challenges. Played off Dahl's back. Dahl gets back to it. Stolen away by the Dragons. Calandro's there. Makes a touch. Schumacher comes in for position. Schumacher cuts it back and gets fouled. And free kick for the Cougars.
Hey, check short first, Michael.
Nelson will come over. Nelson takes the free kick. Driving ball into the middle. Mendez makes the touch. Calandro steps up with his left, plays it up to Clevenger. Youngberg and Martinez fight for possession. Youngberg's able to get the tackle and trips him on the process. Free kick for the Dragons. Quick restart over to the far side. Calandro's there and plays it wide. Out of bounds, throwing for the Purple Dragons.
Good job, Steven. Here we go, guys. Go back and help. There you go. Hey, right there.
Ball played in the corner. Calandro is able to deflect it, goes out of bounds. That will be a goal kick for the Cougars. Nelson there for the goal kick. Restarted short by Boney. Nelson's able to carry. Has room in front. He plays a ball all the way in as Ward and Lewis decide to clear it. Just a miscommunication by the back line, and they give the Cougars a free corner. Take advantage of it, guys.
All right, let's go, Cougars. Get it in there.
Youngberg over for the corner. Perigin on the backside, Clevenger in the middle. Hamlin at the 12-yard box, sent all the way across. Perigin's there, heads it in, and saved by the keeper. That'll be another corner kick for the Cougars. Youngberg takes it over to the opposite corner. 8 minutes left to play. Clevenger and Perigin on the far side now. Hamlin still in the middle. Anrider's making a run to the near post. Played across. Looks like it may go over and does. And that will be a goal kick for the Dragons. Ball played backspin short. Anrider gets a touch to Youngberg. Youngberg takes the strike, tries to chip it over, but goes over the goal. And goal kick for the Purple Dragons. Ball played low. Youngberg's there. Youngberg settles, takes the strike, far post, and goes wide again.
Hey, keep shooting, boys. Keep shooting. Come on, Cougars. Here we go. Hey, these guys are tired. Stay up. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
Mendez back to take the free kick, the goal kick this time for the Purple Dragons. Back spinning ball high in the air. Perigin's there. Heads it into the middle. Youngberg's there. Youngberg looking for position. Leaves it for Perigin. Perigin tries to send it over and goes over the goal. And another goal kick for the Purple Dragons. 6 minutes left to play here in the regulation period. 0-0 the score. Mendez taking the goal kick again for the Purple Dragons. Plays it short. That's Pena on the ball. Pena has room to turn. Perigin comes in and steals. Miscommunication in the middle. Perigin gets the tackle, gets back to the ball. Hamlin's on it. Hamlin plays it to Anredder on the far side. Garcia gets to the ball. Anredder playing in front. Played it down the line. Schumacher's there. Schumacher gets to the ball. Tries to play it across. Deflected away by number 18, Merida. Stolen away by Calandra on the back line. Calandra plays it into Anredder. Anredder opens up the play. Garcia deflects. Anredder still on the ball. Garcia wins the challenge and plays it up the line. Schumacher steps in. Played up ahead, and Dahl's there. Dahl wins it into the middle. Plays it across to Beatty. Beatty has time. Beatty drops it back to Nelson. Nelson carries and looks for an option. Chips it over to Beatty. Beatty carrying down the near side. Martinez defending. Beatty gets all the way to the edge, trying to get around the edge, and Ward's there to defend. Beatty sends it in with his left. Lewis taps it out to Martinez. Martinez across the middle. Dangerous play. Merida tries to settle. Perigin's getting to the ball. Cleared away to Pena. Pena carrying. And Dahl's back on the ball as Dahl pressures. Dahl shields and gets to it. Rodas defending. Calandro clears. Anredder there heads it back into the play. Garcia heads it down the line. Dahl steps up and clears it away. That's a throw-in for the Purple Dragons. 4:30 left to play. Still no score. Ball played ahead by the Purple Dragons into the middle. Nelson clears. Youngberg's there in the middle. Youngberg drops back to Nelson. Stolen away by Pena in the middle. And Nelson's called for the foul. Get back for a quick restart. Pena taking the free kick for the Dragons. Pena low ball in, and Boney's there and makes the save. Boney high ball, back spinning in the air. Clevenger and Perigin there. Clevenger heads it forward to Perigin, and Lewis was in cover, was able to clear it away, throwing for the Cougars. Perigin comes over for the quick throw in. Perigin slipped on the water retention there in the corner and plays it down the sideline to Clevenger. Perigin has the throw in. Perigin back to Youngberg. Youngberg chips it high into the air. Clevenger is able to get to it, and he gets called for the foul, pushing the back, and free kick for the Purple Dragons. Mendez over for the free kick. Less than 3 minutes left in regulation. Ball played in the middle. Pena's able to receive it in turn. Youngberg chases back. Pena plays it through. Nelson's there. Nelson's able to win the battle and draws the foul on number 21, Aguilar. Free kick for the Cougars. 2:30 left to play. Youngberg sends it in. Mendez gets the touch. Schumacher heads it down to Perigin. Perigin has room in front. Plays it through to Clevenger. Clevenger fighting to get there. He's able to keep it in. Pokes it through. And nope, called out of bounds. That will be a goal kick for the Purple Dragons.
2 minutes.
2 minutes left to play. Goal kick. Ball played ahead. Perigin gets the touch over to Anredder. Anredder opens up. Plays it back to Dahl. Dahl settles and chips it back to Anredder on the far side. Anredder turns. Tries to play it into Perigin. Deflected away by Garcia. Perigin challenges back. Played down the line. Dahl's there. Dahl tries to send it back in. Drops it back to Calandro. Calandro drives it into Schumacher. Schumacher can't get there. Mendez plays it back in the middle. Youngberg tries to get a touch. Beatty's there. Beatty into Youngberg. Youngberg turns. Youngberg still on the ball. Carries down the far side. Looks at his option. Takes the shot. And that's just too far out. Goalie's there to grab it. Top spin ball.
Win it, Black, win it.
Pena on the ball. Beatty defending in front. Pena chips it through to the far side. That's Martinez on the far side as Dahl tracks back. Rodas on the ball. Rodas cuts it back into the middle. Takes the strike, and Calandro steps up and deflects. Perigin clears, and I think he might have deflected that off the Purple Dragons throwing for the Cougars.
Last minute.
Less than a minute left to play as Dahl sends it in down the sideline to Anrader. Anrader chips it up. Schumacher comes on. Still in play as Hamlin comes up to challenge. Perrigan's there. Perrigan sends it through for Clevenger to make the run. And Ward's able to step in and get a touch. Youngberg back to the ball. Youngberg chips it over for Clevenger. Clevenger in the box. If he can get to it, sends it far post. And that's a goal for the Cougars! With 28 seconds left to play, the Cougars take a 1-0 lead. Restart of play. Perrigan comes in. Cleared away. Just cleared away, guys. Mendez to the ball. Perrigan comes in and defends. Ball up ahead. Nelson's there. Nelson off the shoulder. Send it out. Just send it out. 10 seconds left to play. Pena inbounds to Mendez. Mendez sends it high into the air. Boney's there, and that's the final horn. And the Cougars are victorious. Great game for both teams. Cougars finish it with less than 30 seconds to play. What a game for the College Chapter Christian Cougars. Final score, Cougars 1, Purple Dragons 0. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We'll be back here Thursday for the third home game this week. That will be senior night, so come on out if you can. If you're in town, Ghetto Tacos will be set up serving taco truck tacos, and ceremonies for seniors will be at halftime. Game time is at 4:30 against Carl Junction. Carl Junction beat this Pittsburg team earlier in the year 3-2, so it should be a decent matchup for the Cougars.
Go!